මැස් විහිදෙන ජීවිතේ.
අපේ වැව වසර දහස් ගණනක ශ්‍රී ලාංකික අනන්‍යතාවේ මුදුන් මල් කඩයි පරම්පරා දහස් ගණනක සෞභාග්‍යී රහස් සංගවාගත් ඓතිහාසික බෙල්ලන් කඩවල එල්ලංගා පද්ධතිය මුල් කරගනිමින් පේරාදෙණිය සරසවිය සමග සිදු කළ විශේෂ අධ්‍යයනයෙන්ද හෙළිවුණේ මේ විශිෂ්ටත්වයයි. අපේ වැව් පද්ධතිය පණමින් සුරකිමු.
நாடுகள் ஐரோப்பிய ஒன்றியம் என்பன எமது நாட்டில்
And a very good evening to you and a warm welcome to Newsline. Once again I find myself on the streets of Colombo, this time in front of the Liberty Roundabout in Colombo in Kolpiti, and behind me you can see a large number of protesters, this time from the IT industry, and as you can see they're quite a crowd. But I can't see any policemen standing by to provide any sort of protection. But on the other side of the road, as we walk across, in the backdrop of temple trees, the official residence of the Prime Minister of the official office of the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, we can see that there is a barrier and there's a veritable army of police officers behind the barriers, providing protection, obviously I suppose, for the occupants and the office of the Prime Minister at Temple Trees in Colombo. The crowds have continued to grow today, and we're going to be joining the crowd shortly and find out as to why they feel obliged to turn up and protest on the streets of Colombo. And here we are back on the streets of Colombo, where we are joined by my members of the IT fraternity in Sri Lanka, who are protesting again about the current mismanaged economy and the various transgressions that this government stands accused of, in spite of their overwhelming popularity some months ago, with 6.9 million people voting for President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, and followed soon after by a near 2/3 majority in parliament. Let's find out why these folk are almost obliged to be here on the streets of Colombo when it's threatening to come down with buckets of rain. Let's find out, shall we? Hello there. I'm from TV1 Newsline. Can you tell me why you're here?
Actually, to stop this corruption, Sri Lankan corruption.
You want to stop Sri Lankan corruption?
Yeah.
And are you from the IT industry?
Yes.
And how do you feel about the power cuts, and how, because you can't work when you're with power cuts, the internet is down because the towers aren't working properly. So what is it doing to you for working from home?
Due to this power cut, and actually we can't work. Due to this power cut, and actually the IT equipments are very expensive, and actually we are facing a lot of issues in this country situation.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Your board says hello to 25+1. Where is accountability? I'm asking you, what do you think has happened to accountability?
I think it has been taken away from all of us, and then I think the country is at a stake that everybody needs to come forward and take up their rights, and they have to speak up to their own rights. Otherwise nobody will do that for us. We have to stand up for our own rights, and we have to fight for that.
Have you lost faith in this government?
Yes, I have. I mean, they had all the privileges and they had everything. They had, when the entire nation stood up for them, half of the nation stood up for them, they had the right to show what they are capable of doing, but they didn't do it, and still they are not doing it. So I think, yes, we all have lost the faith of the government.
Thank you very much for your time with Newsline on the streets of Colombo. Let's go down here and let's find out what these people say. Let's find out why they're here. Hello, sir. While 225+1 is in power, prices have gone up, plus, corruption, plus, accountability, minus, and dollars, minus. Sir, would you like to say some words to me? Thank you very much. And the crowd's growing. Let's find out why these people are protesting on the streets of Colombo. Let's find out. Roll back Rajapakshas. Hashtag go home Gota. Hashtag give us our money back. Madam, would you like to say a few words to Newsline on TV1?
Yeah, the real battle is here because all the professionals of the country are getting into the road. So what I should have to say is go home. You can't do this. Let it done by the professionals. Go home.
Do you have any faith left in this government?
Sorry?
Do you have any faith left in this government?
Nil, none. It's void. Nothing.
Zero.
Zero.
Are you from the IT industry?
Yes.
And do you feel that this government is suffering from a 404 fault?
Of course, that's the error.
Thank you very much for your time on Newsline on TV1. Do you want to say a few words? Can you tell me why you're here?
I'm here because of all the because of this power cut. IT industry is affecting badly. So I'm here for voice of all the professionals who are here, and we demand audition for all the parliament members. That's why I'm here.
Thank you very much, madam, for your time on Newsline TV1. Fix the system. So, is this a fault 404 that's going on in Sri Lanka?
Yeah, pretty much. After about how long have we watched the president not do anything about the current system, and we just see it going worse and worse and worse. Now we don't even have gas, power, nothing. Everything's busted. We need someone to come in and fix it, and we need it now.
Thank you very much for being on Newsline on TV1. We will bring in the dollars if you let us work. We need responsible leadership. Tell me, why are you here?
To send all the corrupted politicians home.
You want to send the politicians home?
All the corrupted politicians home.
All the corrupted ones. Are there a few good ones?
I'm not sure. Maybe we can find out.
We'll have to find out. And are you from the IT industry? How do you feel when there's power cuts and you can't work from home?
It's really hard. We have to cope up with a lot of difficult situations right now. But we are hanging there right now. But we can't continue this way.
Is it a 404 fault?
Yes, kind of.
Thank you very much for being on Newsline. Would you try to tell me why you're standing here? Don't you have anything better to do?
Well, actually, the current government is like everything is so messed up. So we need to tell everyone that these things, these problems should be addressed, and as a nation-wise, actually, bottom line is that we need to have a better country for us and for our children to live in.
Thank you very much. Sir, it looks like you would like to tell me, why are you standing here?
I'm standing here because of my children, because we need to make a better country for our children, right? So we are standing here because we need to make a better country for ourselves and our country. That's right.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And let's go and join the rest of the crowd here and find out why they are standing here. Hello there, sir. Why are you standing here protesting?
Protesting against the government. Current government is not ruling the country right, and it is the right for public to come and protest because it is our right to save our future. It is right. It is our right to save our future for our kids. That's why we are here. That's why we are here. That's why we are here.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Can you tell me why you're standing here protesting? I'm from Newsline on TV1.
Because we're sick of corruption, the executive government, and the abuse of power.
Thank you very much. That puts it all rolled into one. Abolish executive presidency. Hashtag go home 225. Hashtag go home Gota. Do you really believe that? Do you want the presidency abolished?
Yes, definitely. When is this going to end? This has to end someday and immediately. We can't stand any longer. This has to come to an end.
Are you from the IT industry?
Yes, I am.
Is this like a 404 fault?
Sorry?
Is this like a 404 fault on a computer system?
Yeah, it's a whole system breakdown. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And look, the crowds are growing, and we're on the streets of Colombo in Kalpiri at the Kalpiri Junction. Save Sri Lanka. Why? What's wrong?
This regime has been stealing us for decades, and it's time to go. We are here to peacefully protest against that.
But 6.9 million people voted for them.
They have now realized, I don't think there are even 200 people left who are with them now.
Do you think they've lost the moral right to rule?
They have lost everything. They have lost dignity, they have lost morale, they have lost everything they gained. They are gone.
Thank you very much for being on Newsline on TV1. Hit the economy, go home, Gota. Do you want to say something? Why are you here?
They don't know how to control the economy. They should go home. They don't know all the stuff.
They don't know to control the economy. They need to go home.
Yeah, they should go home.
Thank you very much. And look at this board here. Help $1 billion export industry. Do we look like drug dealers? I don't know. Let's find out. Why are you here, young man?
I'm here to protest.
Why? What's wrong?
So send Gota to home.
Why do you want him to go home? He's quite happy at the president's house.
Yeah, because he's not giving us current, no gas, no water.
No future?
No future for students.
And also we have put in Chinese actually because we tried in Singapore.
Yeah, we started in English.
What does it say?
It's go home, Gota. Go home, Gota.
In Chinese?
Yeah, because you don't understand Sinhala, that's why.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Sorry, are you from the IT industry?
No.
Okay. You're from the IT industry?
I'm father.
Oh, you're the father?
Yeah.
Is it? You're from the IT industry?
Yeah.
Is this like a 404 fault?
Well, I don't want to comment on that, but anyway, the not only Gotabaya, Rajapaksa, or whoever is in the parliament, right? But everyone should go home who is in the parliament, because even now they didn't talk anything at all. They're just saying we'll work together, we'll go together, but no one gave a clear statement or just a one statement how they're going to bring up the economy or whatever the crisis they can come out.
So you're looking for some clarity?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And thank you. It's nice to see you here, but we're saddened that you're here protesting. It's about to rain. Do you have anything better to do at home?
Yes, actually, but I want to stand for the nation. I came with my family, my husband, my children, and me.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And from the Liberty Roundabout in Kalpiri, this is Newsline. We're going to take a short break and take a peek at this evening's headline news from the Newsfirst Primetime News team. We'll see you on the other side of the break, shall we?
Newsfirst Newsline with Faraz.
Professionals and trade unionists join the people's struggle. No confidence motion or an impeachment. Preparations of the opposition.
අපිට සිද්ධ වෙනවා ව්‍යවස්ථාමය ක්‍රියාමාර්ගයකට විශ්වාස භංගයකට ප්‍රවේශ වෙන්න. අපි සූදානම් මෙතෙන්ට.
Ranjit Siambalapitiya to continue as Deputy Speaker, Ali Sabri to continue as the Finance Minister.
මම අද දින කතා කරන්නේ මුදල් අමාත්‍යවරයා වශයෙන්.
Two parliamentarians removed from the proceedings. Who will go to the IMF? Will loans be granted? University students protest at the entrance to Parliament.
Newsline with Faraz.
And welcome back to Newsline. Today we are reporting from the Liberty Roundabout on the streets of Colombo yet again, where the crowds continue to gather in protest at what's going on. Most of the people today over here are from the IT industry. And let me find out, it says here, hashtag help save $1 billion export industry. Madam, why are you here? Why are you standing here?
Because the conditions in this country have become untenable. Even if we have some level of privilege, we still can't even carry out our day-to-day work with the power cuts to the internet connectivity issues. And while we face these issues, the rest of the fellow Sri Lankans are suffering. They're suffering without food to eat. And if we can't and we don't take a stand now, there is no end in sight for this.
Thank you very much. And is really the IT industry a $1 billion industry?
It's close to $1 billion.
Thank you very much. And the cries, the pleas for Gota go home carries on, as you can hear. And sir, excuse me, I'm from Newsline TV1. Can you tell me why you're here?
Actually, we are here as a youth in IT industry that we have suffered a lot in our country, and we are here to tell all our rulers that they have messed with the wrong generation. So yes.
Thank you very much. They've messed with the wrong generation. Let's find out how many of these people will take a break from protesting and talk to Newsline. Excuse me, sir. I'm from TV1.
Of course we know you.
Thank you very much. Sir, why are you standing here? Haven't you got anything better to do?
This is a historic moment for us, because I never thought that the IT industry would come out onto the streets. It's clearly because the people have lost faith in the government, which is the executive and the parliament. You see what's going on in parliament. So in keeping with the constitution, where the sovereignty lies with the people, they have really taken control of the sovereignty, and they are saying direct democracy. Out with the executive presidency and out with the parliament. I myself have been involved in the trade union movement, but I never thought in my 30 years that I would see the IT industry. That shows how far and deep and wide this problem has affected the people of this country. So that's why I'm here, to participate in the people's efforts at direct democracy, to bring about a fundamental change, not cosmetic change. And I think we need to look at solutions outside of the existing structures. Certainly outside the constitution, which JR bought. And he said that let the robber barons come, and they came. So I think it's important that in IT especially, people look at creative solutions beyond what is generally known. So I'm hoping that with the kind of people we have here, there'll be a new approach, so that you change this system from within, and hope we can create a better future for our country and our people.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for being on Newsline on TV1. And here we go. Gentlemen, what are you doing here? Why can't you go home? Don't you have better things to do? Why are you standing here?
We used to have better things to do, but we can't do anything at home anymore. There's no power. We're standing here because the IT industry, which is a premier export industry in Sri Lanka, which has so much potential for growth, is basically taken down the tubes by absolutely asinine decision making and no forward thinking, no strategic thinking whatsoever, and just obstructionist, arrogant, everybody you can imagine that says, there's no problem, it's all going to be good.
Are you sort of fast running out of adjectives to describe the situation?
I am, because it's a situation that really is unbelievable. If you're in charge, if you run a company, I run a company of 900 employees. If I know something is coming up, I have other people who report to me who tell me these things are coming up. I don't keep putting my head in the sand when there's a storm coming. I have to get my head up and figure out how I'm going to deal with the storm. When the government, entire government, not just the president, the entire cabinet, the central bank governor, all of these people got together and ignored the problem until we are at the point where we are down to 12 hours of electricity a day. People are standing in lines of fuel. There's no, I don't want to repeat the problems. We all know the problems. What's
the solution? What do you think is the solution? What should be done?
At this point, the solution is a long-term problem that must be dealt with. But to get to the long-term solution, we need to stabilize the government. The government has lost the faith of the people to start with. And the problem is that to go forward, the government has to hold ground and do a lot of difficult changes. So we need, first of all, a government that can be stable, that can be responsible, that when they go and talk to creditors believe that whatever they say, we are going to do this, they will actually do it. The government where the finance minister operates for one day, then says I resign, then comes back and says I am back in, I don't know what credibility signal that sends to anybody else in the world.
I know you're unhappy with the government because you just said that, but are you unhappy or dissatisfied with the collective opposition?
Absolutely. The collective opposition, the entire parliament. I mean, if you watch the parliament for the last few days, which I never used to watch a parliament, and I watched it, it's another joke. Why are we paying, I think it was 45 million rupees a day, something like that, to keep running parliament? What value came out of that conversation with them? Right? So the entire opposition, the entire parliament has to be responsible for this, because they all got together and created this situation. They got together and created the environment for the government to operate this way. So it's their responsibility as well. This is not a one-person thing. It's 225 plus 1 are all responsible, and they need to take responsibility. And just saying, okay, now we've solved the problem is not a good enough situation. Because if you do that, then where is the responsibility? If I ran the company like that, I'd be fired in a day.
Are you concerned that there is hardly any checks and balances in Sri Lanka?
Absolutely. I mean, the people voted in a government and said we give you 2/3 majority. That's the people's choice. It's a right of the democracy to do that. But today you'd be hard pressed to find anywhere near 6.9 million people who are saying they are doing the right thing. So the parliamentary system, which is supposed to give you checks and balances, was completely taken out of whack. And then the government itself, we are not a government where there's a healthy debate in cabinet. You see all these stories coming out saying document comes at midnight, we approve at 7 a.m. This is not a government. This is an anarchy being run by a small group of people. That is not acceptable to us anymore.
Thank you very much for being on Newsline on TV1. We appreciate your time. Sir, why are you here? You look like you have better things to do.
I have better things to do. Actually, this president came to power saying that we'll drive the technology industry forward. But today, look at the fate of us. We are all on the street, right? We have so much of challenges on day-to-day work. Our work is disrupted. And also, we want to stand in solidarity with people of Sri Lanka. Parliament has become an absolute mockery. Today, as I speak to you, there is no finance minister. We have to go to IMF immediately. But are we really executing? That's a big question mark. These things should have been done many moons ago, right? But instead of making critical decision at this point, Parliament is accusing each other. And last week, one of the key reasons we wanted to put our faces, last week people were saying behind all these protests are various political parties, drug dealers, the underworld. Do you look, are we underworld? You see the entire IT industry is here, all the big IT companies are here. We are the people who bring dollars to the country. We are the people who give lot of employment for knowledge economy people. So, message is loud and clear. President needs to bow down to people's wish, people's demand, and find an acceptable solution and resolve this most important matter of avoiding an economic Armageddon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And just as we come to the close of it, this is a 404 problem here, as it says on the board there. 404, leadership not found. Hashtag go home, Gota. Really, what's the problem here? The fundamental problem. What is it in your mind?
We are here as a community today, the IT community, the entrepreneur community, and the startup community. There are industry veterans, there are novices like myself. We are here to ensure that the country has freedom, fairness, equality and inclusivity. I'm 34 years old. I grew up in a country when there was war and then there was uprisings, and I do not intend on giving a country to the future to go through the same situations that we did. Sri Lanka is for everyone. Sri Lanka has always been for everyone, and we will not let anyone hijack that from us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And as we come to the end of tonight's edition of Newsline, we'd like to remind you that we are amongst the people from the IT industry. Look, today protesting at the Liberty Roundabout in Kolpiri, across the road from Temple Trees on the other side. But the people here don't look like they need any security. They're providing their own security in stark contrast to what we saw at the opening of our program, when we saw the police barriers guarding the entrance towards Temple Trees, the official office of the Prime Minister and the residence of the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka. And on that note, it's now time for the primetime news from the Newsfirst primetime news team. And as always, I leave you with this wish. God bless you all.
Newsfirst, Newsline with Faraz.